Before doing any work or maintenance on your pool pump, make sure that the power to the motor is turned off. Once you have removed the motor from the pump housing by taking out the 6 bolts that hold it in, as well as the electrical wiring, which should be done by or with assistance from a professional electrician, you will begin disassembling the motor by first removing the diffuser. This is done by removing 2 small screws with an Allen wrench. Always be sure to check the impeller for any damage, or in this case, any obstructions such as large pebbles and rocks. These obstructions shall be removed before reassembling the impeller. To remove the impeller on a Whisperflo, you must first loosen and remove the screw in the middle of the impeller, which is a reverse threaded screw. This means that one must remove the screw by turning the screwdriver clockwise. Next, you must remove the cap on the back end of the pump that protects the end of the shaft. This must be done so that you can place an open-ended 9/16 wrench or special shaft tool on the end of the shaft to back it up as you loosen the impeller in a normal fashion. After removing the impeller, disassemble the seal plate, which is the last piece to remove from the old motor. Don't forget to remove the pump seals from the seal plate as well as the impeller. Be sure to clean out the seal plate, as it is an ideal place for spiders and insects to make their home. Remove the rubber protector piece from the threaded end of the shaft on the new motor and install the new pump seals back into the seal plate. Use a small amount of silicone applied to the metal part of the pump seal. Then tap it into place by using a 1-inch PVC coupler. Now you may reinstall the freshly cleaned seal plate onto your new motor with the 4 9/16 bolts that hold it in. Make sure that you install the seal plate in its correct position, lining up the top of the seal plate with the top of the motor. The top of the motor on most of the Pentair OEM motors is given away by the canister that sits on top. You can also identify the bottom of the motor by the open vent holes at the front of the motor. After installing the seal plate, you may begin preparing the back of the motor for the installation of the electrical connections. First, remove the small cover plate on the back of the motor and the protector cap on the side. This is where the conduit will be connected. Now it is time to install the impeller. Don't forget to install the other half of the new pump seal onto the impeller before installing it back onto your motor. You will have to hold the back end of the shaft again, so you must remove the protector cap. The cap is removed by turning it a quarter turn in the normal counterclockwise direction. Place a 9/16 open-ended wrench on the shaft and thread the impeller onto the front end of the motor. Now you will put the shaft cap back on by turning it a quarter turn in a clockwise direction. In order to finish the installation of the impeller, you must reinsert the reverse threaded bolt back into the middle of the impeller. This is done by screwing in the screw in a counterclockwise direction. The next step is to install the diffuser by tightening the 2 small Allen screws. It is important to make sure and find the 2 small brass inserts on the seal plate where the diffuser screws will tighten into. Now the motor is prepared to be wired up. You will begin by pulling the wires through the conduit connector on the motor and connecting the conduit to its connector. Be sure to consult a professional electrician and your local building codes before working with the electrical aspects of the motor. Once the motor is professionally wired up and ready to go, you must remove the old pump gasket and install a new one. It is sometimes helpful to stretch the new gasket and use silicone to help it stay in place. The gasket for the Pentair Whisperflo has two different sides. You must make sure to insert the side with the notch on the gasket into the seal plate so that the flat side of the gasket will go against the pump. You must then replace the diffuser O-ring, using silicone optionally in order to keep the O-ring from falling off when attempting to install the motor back into the pump housing. You may now place the motor into the pump housing and reinsert the 6 9/16 bolts to connect the motor and pump housing securely. The two middle bolts on the sides of the seal plate will have nuts that must be backed up with another wrench in order to properly tighten back in. You're not finished yet. Don't forget to add water to the inside of the pump. Secure the pump lid and don't forget to turn your power back on at the breaker. You may now turn on the pump and use the air release valve on the top of your filter to release any air that may have accumulated inside. Now you're back in business, hydraulically pumping water more efficiently and more quietly than competitive pumps. Thank you for choosing Pool Guy Supply.